Right, welcome back. As per usual, I'm going to jump on the ladder and play a couple of games, and then I'll go and find a replay that I think highlights something that is particularly good about the deck, or a game where it was at its best. So, SMOrc on the water. Let's take you for a try. Ooh. I'm not sure I've played this against Vaath yet. So if this is... So I guess the most popular version of Fae at the moment is like the wall deck. That could be an issue. We have Diatide Frenzy and Blistering Scorn to break through some of the walls. Scorn is quite good against Gravity Well, so we'll probably want to replace for that. This is not an amazing hand. I feel like I want to keep the Frenzy. I don't know if I want to keep it with Elucidator, because that's a lot of mana. We probably want this Blazehound on the off chance that we don't draw a 2-drop. We still got something to do on turn 3. Repulsive Beast is probably not going to be very good yet, so I'll punt that. I think I'd rather have Veteran Silithar over Elucidator in the opener, just because the Vet Silithar you can just kind of throw it out there, whereas Elucidator you really need to be doing something with it. So I think I'm going to replace like so. Oh, good. Alright, excellent. So, Plasma Storm's pretty good, Young Silithar's pretty good. I don't know if I should hold on to this Plasma Storm. I guess we'll see what my opponent is doing turn 1 to figure out. So, replacing it could get me a natural selection. Oh, I do apologize, the game appears to be being quite laggy. Possibly it's because I'm uploading the previous recording in the background. Although I'm pretty sure I've done that at the same time before and it's not been an issue. So maybe it's their servers. I will, I guess, pause it and find out. Where's the pause button? Apparently there isn't the pause button. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ooh, a Scorn. Alright. Show us your Gravity Well. Trollsreiberg? Trollsreiberg? This has got to be like European, right? I hope this lag doesn't continue. I apologize if so. Fae. Alright. Well, turn 1 ranged unit's a bit scary. Plasma Storm will help us clear up various mechs, but not for a little while. So I think the first thing to do is to replace looking for natural selection. And I think I'm going to replace the Blazehound, because against mech you really don't want to draw them cards. The Scorn would be another decent option to replace, just because, you know, we're not really using it here. Actually, maybe that's better than Blazehound, because Blazehound can at least dig us to answers. It's worth noting that we don't have a way to kill Mechazor in this deck. Most Magmar decks don't. But we can outrace it. And I have in the past actually done that. Yeah, okay, let's replace the Scorn. Come on, natural selection. Boo! Okay. Well, let's just go forward and play something that won't die, obviously. If we just plop down a Vet Silithar, our opponent can't straightforwardly kill either of our minions on board, so that's something. And then hopefully next time we can move it over and pop this, although I suspect it will be running away. We might just be playing, if Fae doesn't take this mana tile, which I highly doubt, but we might just be playing Plasma Storm next turn to clear up robots. But I very much imagine that, especially if it's going to be worth playing Plasma Storm, she'll be taking this mana tile. Because if she plays enough stuff that... Here we go. Oh, she's got Blazehounds. Alright. Rustcrawler. Oh, man! That's rough. Straight to the face. Very interesting. Okay. So, we can kill the Blazehound with Vaath and pump the Silithar, attack Fae. Not too keen on that. No, actually, yeah, I am. If we pump the Silithar and attack Fae, it'll be 4 power for next turn. Although I'm still also kind of tempted to just throw out the Rust Crawler somewhere over here, just so that I can try and threaten this cannon. I think I'm replacing the Blazehound. Scorn. What does that do for us? Not a lot, I guess. If we draw a Blood Tear Alchemist, we can use it to clear the cannon. So I think I'm priced into doing this. So I'm going to hit this. I'm going to run this dude up, buff it, attack the face, and I think I'll play the Rust Crawler here. I'm not sure it matters very much because the cannon can escape anyway. Maybe there is better. There's no real way to play around. Whatever. Okay. The Bloodborne spell, that's awkward. I should have put Vaath there. I guess that doesn't matter. No, that does matter. That matters a lot. That was an error. Because now she can actually fully clear this. Oh, interesting. I guess she could have killed it anyway. Using the Hearth Sister. So is she attacking that, or is she... Put us in a bit of a bind here. Oh, that's interesting. Well, she used a card to remove it anyway. I'm okay with that. Right, so she's now killed all our stuff. Or will have. Oh, interesting. Very aggressive. Okay, so this is a really nice Plasma Storm turn. I should still replace, because there's an off chance I get Blood Tear Alchemist and can do Scorn Alchemist attack this. Although that puts me to a very low life total. This is another matchup where the Earth Sphere is good. I don't know if I'm supposed to attack my opponent here. I guess not. Let's see. I'm going to replace the Diatide Frenzy because it requires the most setup. Saber Spine. Exactly the card that's good with Diatide Frenzy. Boo. Okay, so instead of using Plasma Storm, I can hit this and kill this with the Saber Spine and then play a young Silithar, which might be better. I do take damage, but it gets me a board presence. Although, I'm probably just better off using the Plasma Storm, to be honest. Given that it's so awkward otherwise. Yeah, let's just fire this off now. And not attack. Because it's going to take us a turn or two more. Ah, we're drawing all the rush minions to be punished for replacing Diatide. This is like, maybe good. It very much depends on what else the opponent does. It is worth noting she's only played one mech. There is a slim chance that she's just playing Cannon of Mechazor as a ranged unit. Although since she's playing Blazehound, I doubt that, because Blazehound is the sort of card that you play when you need it. Like, you know, you're playing... Alright, that's also a common mech card. Yeah, here we go. Oh, this is where I'd really love some Frenzy. The sad thing is that she's playing directly into Mecanto Boarbeast, which we don't have. But this sort of alignment of minions is exactly what you don't want when your opponent's playing Magmar and is about to have 6 mana. Ah, there we go. She played correctly. Right. What do? We have to kill this, which we're probably doing with the Saber Spine. We can eat this. Is it worth... I'm not sure. I think I'm going to replace the Elucidator, because we're going to be like actually just dead in a couple of turns. So we want Earth Sphere, ideally. That's sort of the main... That's the dream. This is the sort of matchup our Earth Sphere is for. So we're going to kill this, We're going to kill this. Going to lay down a Silithar, and I guess I might as well BBS up. It's always worth checking to see how much damage we can do next turn. So, if our opponent... Okay, she's running away, so we can't get her with Vaath. So that means we have... What's this? 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, we can't afford both. 7, 8, 9 from that damage. Chassis. Okay, so Mechazor is out. Right. So this probably means we're dead. I would guess. We can concede in style with the Elucidator, if we so desire, although I guess we can do that by attacking the chassis and playing Blistering Scorn. What do we do? What can we do? We can... If we draw Earth Sphere, we can... we can move here, Primus Fist this to trade. I can even move here and eat this, but I'd rather be closer to Fae. Primus Fist this to trade. That's about it. I think either way this gets replaced. Adamantine Claws. Not Earthsphere. Is a ton of damage. Yeah, I guess we concede in style. Alright, so we got raced down there by an opponent who was just a little bit more aggressive than us. Fae's hero power does have the edge in these kind of aggro matchups. You'll notice that I'm a lot lower ranked than I was in the previous video. That's because there's just been a season reset. So I'm hovering around rank 11 like everybody else in the game right now, who was in Diamond or S last month. Which ironically probably means the quality of opponents is actually higher. It's always interesting playing against high ranked players though, especially trying to test budget decks like this. Okay, this is... I have determined that this is not a good matchup. So normally when you're playing aggro against Abyssians like this, you can just sort of rush them down. But this particular deck I've found is kind of struggling against a lot of the tools that Abyssians have in general. It's a bit of an awkward matchup for Magmar to start with, whereas faster decks or decks with a sort of different tool set can kind of circumvent Abyssian's removal or answers more easily. So I think we're going to keep one of the Saber Spines. They're quite good removal. They're good if she happens to be running Blood Moon Priestess. This is Cassiva, so normally that means Shadow Nova, but Blood Moon is still possible. Going to keep this for Kaleno. Kaleno is our worst nightmare. It's also good against deal test tokens. And I think I'll replace the Primus Fist, although it's a pretty solid card. Just because Abyssians don't normally put us in the sort of situation where we're looking to trade a 2-drop for their 2-drop early on. Okay, Plasma Storm is not terrible. This is very good if they have Spectral Blade, which is one of the worst cards they can have against us. Do I replace Plasma Storm? I think so. I doubt my opponent is going to be playing anything sort of swarmy. I'm willing to gamble on replacing it. And if they are, we just drew Blistering Scorn, which is sweet. Ooh, claws. Rawr. Vaath smash! So it's quite likely that our next turn is just like bashing this 3-drop in the face. You know, we move the Silithar down. Okay. Well, we don't even need to do that. We can play the Blistering Scorn. So one option here is move forward, attack this, move the Silithar to here, play the Scorn. So it'll finish this off, and the Silithar will be protected from the opponent by the body of the Blistering Scorn. Another thing we can do is Natural Selection Rustcrawler. Just pop this, run into the middle, move down here, play Rustcrawler. I'm not too keen on that line, just because this is a good answer to Spectral Blade, and Spectral Blade is a good answer to our deck. Although I guess this also removes Spectral Blade to some extent, because she'll have to use a charge killing the Rustcrawler. I think I want to keep this for Kaleno though. The final option is Saber Spine Tiger on this. Or I guess we can just attack it and play something in front. What do I replace? I think I like the Scorn play more than the Saber Spine because we end up with more board. I'm going to replace this... No, I think I'll use the Scorn. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Oh. Double Rustcrawler, okay. That was a bit of a scary moment for the game to start lagging again, wasn't it? Okay, that doesn't say Spectral Blade, that says... Oh, Chakram, oh boy. Well, we can't natural selection that. But we can Adamantite clause it. Or we can clause her in the face. Both decent options. I don't hate the face plan. It's sort of what I signed up for with this deck, after all. I don't know if it'll get very far. I think this is the best of the options we got here. We can't really kill this Chakram. Now, where do I put Vaath, and do I attack my opponent with? I think I do attack with the Scorn, because she can just kill it with the Chakram otherwise. I might move this up here to block the Chakram from accessing the young Silithar. Go here. Go face. Move this guy up. Go. So she can ping this and hit this, but not both. Meaning the egg will survive. So she's fleeing, possibly putting the Chakram here, killing this. There's Kaleno. So the ping on that is odd, because the Chakram can't actually do anything except attack me, I guess. Or it could stand in the way, that would work too. Well, I'm not too worried about that. Okay. So we're definitely popping Kaleno. That's 100% happening. I kind of like the idea of running over here and using Greater Fortitude, but I don't know what else. Maybe we just Fortitude a Saber Spine Tiger and attack. No, we don't have the mana to do all of that. Let's replace this Blood Tier. I think it's reasonable to assume that our opponent doesn't have Spectral Blade, but I think playing the Rustcrawler is better than playing the Blood Tier out. Blazehound, not bad either. These are all good options. Yeah, I think I like the Blazehound most actually. So I'm going to pop this. Come up here, deploy the Hound, murder this. Where do I stand? Do I go here? How much mana is she going to have? 6 mana. She can run quite far away from Vaath either way. Let's just stay where I am. Bash. So the life totals are pretty even. But we're doing pretty well on cards, unusually. Dancing Blades, woof. Scratch that statement. Wow. This is the sort of situation where Silhouette Trace is good, because we get to catch up. We can still kill the Dancing Blades, but that means we take a bunch of damage. Our opponent has, however, refused to attack the Silithar, which means we get to punish them for that play by pumping it and hitting them in the face. And I kind of like the idea of throwing in a Saber Spine Tiger here. So we want to play around Shadow Nova. We can't really play around Spectral Revenant because it's Spectral Revenant, but we want to play around Shadow Nova as best we can. Let's see. I think it's time to replace the Rust Crawler, because we can play this instead and it's better. Another Blazehound. Opponent actually has a full hand, so I kind of want to play that. Yeah, okay. Primus first. Oh, we can kill the 4/6 with this. Is that maybe it's better just to kill it with Vaath though. And pump this, go face, play this behind, pass. So this is pretty close. If she has Nova, she can kill 2 of my minions, but they'll at least remain. The Silithars will remain as eggs, blocking space. That Dancing Blades was very powerful. What have we got? Dealtas, okay. Not too worried about that. Boo! Right. She's on 10. We have exactly lethal. Hooray! If anyone would like to play Ride of the Valkyries at this moment, you are welcome to. Alright! We beat the Nightmare matchup. Awesome. Face! Brilliant. Alright, just before I head off, I would like to show you one of the replays from my many test games. So I think my win rate with this deck hasn't been great, but I've been tweaking it the entire time, so don't be discouraged by the fact that quite a few of these are red X's. Just because these were sort of older, kind of clunkier versions. So I think it's this game that I was thinking of showing you. I had a couple of games against Lionar that went pretty well. Which one is more interesting? Probably this one. Because it kind of shows the reason we have interactive cards. So, looking at this hand, right? We have a turn 2 play, that's excellent. We have a clause, that's really good. Lionar don't generally have great ways of removing them. They don't always have Blood Tier Alchemist. And may not keep it in hand against Magmar. And they have a lot of fairly chewy minions, which Adamantite Claws makes short work of. We have an Eggmorph. We absolutely want to keep this in hand against Lionar. This card is priority number 1 against Lionar because they always have a big provoke. The Fortitude and the Tiger are sort of like, well, maybes. The Tiger is a decent removal spell. The Fortitude's probably shippable. Like, we don't. It's not that great against stuff like Windblade Adept. So probably want to replace one of these, looking for an actual 3 or 4 drop that we can just play. And we got one. So obviously, turn 1, move forward, play a thing, pass, the usual. I don't think. Yeah, I didn't replace anything. So definitely going to replace one of these Tigers next turn. Looking for an option. Alright, so this is not quite the dreaded Windblade Lion play, but it does push fairly far forward. So we get the best replace in the world right there. So this draw, this was literally the first time I'd ever played with this card. I put it in the deck just before this game, and it came up exactly at the right time, and allowed me to just make this enormous tempo hit. So I come forward. I don't want to take the mana tile here. I attack, then I play the Scorn, then I move forward and hit the Azeroth line. So the reason for that sequencing was because it kills the Healing Mystic, allowing Vaath to take its space. I guess I could have played this before attacking with the Primus Fist, but either way, you want to make sure that the Healing Mystic is dead before Vaath has to move, because now I have the option of taking one of these mana tiles next turn. and it's very likely that I'll be able to, especially this one because the Scorn is in the way. So I don't really see how my opponent could possibly take both these mana tiles. This means I'll be able to do something like play my Silithar plus Bloodborne spell. So Dialtas absolutely is worth an Egmorph in an aggro deck like this, and I decided to use the Scorn to do it. In retrospect, so I was kind of on a train of thought doing this. I just wanted to take the mana tile and Overlord. I could have left Vaath in the middle and put the Scorn down here, and still done exactly the same thing. That would have also worked. I was thinking through a bunch of lines that involved me taking the top tile, and then ended up arriving at this one instead. This is still an okay line, like there's nothing wrong with this, but it means that if the opponent has Lasting Judgment, the Scorn dies, and this kind of side of the board is essentially theirs, whereas Vaath is obviously a lot harder to remove. But as I recall, I mostly got away with it. The other thing with this play is it's much worse against Dancing Blades. Which, yes, no, I didn't get rid of it. Didn't get away with it. He had a Dancing Blades. Because otherwise the Dancing Blades would be over here. And that's not so bad. So, in lieu of anything better to do, I decided to just remove the blades with the claws. It leaves 2 charges on and the board clear. If I equip claws and go face, the opponent can have things like Holy Immolation or Divine Bond to punish that. You know, just by if I show that I want to make a race of it, they can just be like, well, you just take 10, you know, from this Divine Bond, plus actually more from Raw, so 12. And that's even discounting, yeah, things like Holy Immolation, and then not attacking with the Dancing Blades. Whereas this way, I have 7 power, Arjun has 2, and I threaten to eat any minions that he plays, as well as deal lots of face damage given the opportunity. So that kind of forces his hand a bit. Sadly, I don't have like a Blood Tier Alchemist here to play, just something else to get on the board. That would be kind of nice, but I do draw into an Egmorph, which is fantastic, given what is reasonably likely to happen here. So, again, it would be really nice to have a Blood Tier Alchemist right now, just to be able to Egmorph this, ping it, and then attack face. But you'll notice that, so I was kind of, while I was thinking that, Arjun actually attacked me. It's very bold, but what he's essentially doing is trying to prevent me from grinding through the Iron Cliff over a couple of turns. It's the sort of thing where, like, when you're Lion on, your game plan revolves around snowballing a board state and just having these massive minions that the opponent can't get through. If the opponent has 7 power, that's not really good for your core strategy. So, in the end, Arjun felt like he had to hit me. So I decided to... I replaced the Primus Fist looking for... I think I was looking for the Blood Tier Alchemist, and I figured that all of these cards were kind of more valuable. Maybe I should have just hit this and played it rather than using my Bloodborne spell this turn. But I think I was being a little greedy there. Possibly I should also just have replaced the Greater Fortitude, although Blood Tier Alchemist into Fortitude is really nice. So Arjun is now sort of out of very large minions to play, but is also, I assume, but is also able to play a provoke and hit me again, which again I was not expecting. It's a very bold line, and unfortunately for our opponent it puts them on 9 and then allows me to attack, meaning with any removal spell I can use the Saber Spine and the Greater Fortitude for lethal. So I imagine the opponent felt a little hard done by after that. You know, this is the sort of awful Magmar game that they just deliver sometimes, where it's like all Egmorphs and Adamantine Claws, and you're just like, I'm taking so much damage and I don't really have any ways out of this. So that's kind of what the deck looks like when it's in a matchup where it's maybe more advantaged or firing on all cylinders. Yeah, I've had some very interesting games with this deck. I think when I started testing it today, I played against Raver 3 times in a row. It's not a good matchup. The third game I actually won despite misplaying horrendously for basically the entire duration of the match. It was where the Shiro being a 1/4 with natural selection, only targeting the smallest minion, came into play. You know, I kept my hand, was like, oh yeah, I've got a Shiro, I've got a natural selection, got a 2-drop and removal spell for Lantern Fox. This is great. And then I realized, no wait, I can't remove Lantern Fox. And there was an awkward moment in the mid game where I think my opponent was on her second Fox, and I replaced looking for Greater Fortitude in order to pump my Shiro so that I could kill Lantern Fox. It went pretty horribly. I think after that it was bad enough that after that I just cut Shiro from the deck. He wasn't doing very much for me in the first place, and that was kind of the final straw. You know, playing Shiro and natural selection together is just not good. That about wraps that up. I think the deck is now actually in a place where I'm pretty happy with it. Certainly happy enough to record this video and recommend it to you, my lovely viewers. May it serve you well. If you have, if you make tweaks, please let me know what you do, because I'm not very experienced with building these kind of Magmar aggro decks. The Magmar decks I've played have been much more mid-rangey with sort of, I built one recently that had the Flash reincarnation into fun big stuff kind of plan because it was very entertaining. So yeah, in the meantime, please try it out. Let me know what you think. I hope you found this video interesting and instructive. And again, please let me know what you thought of the video. Give me your feedback on Reddit, in-game, wherever. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.